And so your first solo album released on ABC is, I think, one of the greatest albums full of recordings of all time.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're very welcome. Victim of Life Circumstances was the title for those listening who don't know, which they should know. But so that was in 1975, and it received great reviews, featured such great songs as the title track, Victim of Life Circumstances, which we heard just a few minutes ago here, and Two More Bottles of Wine, which I'm going to play later on. And you wrote both of those songs, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Along with much of the material on the album.
Right.
So what was the story or the inspiration for Victim of Life Circumstances?
You know, I wrote that song somehow. I woke up very early in the morning, like 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And the words to that song started running through my head, and I got up and started writing it down. And within almost no time, I had written the song.
And it was probably influenced by your touring of the club circuit, too, and I'm sure some of the sites you've seen.
It had been brewing in my mind for some time, but at that moment when I woke up, I finished it off. Or put it all together and finished it off in a short period of time. But it was just the story of everyday guy that trying to do right and missed it.
And well, Two More Bottles of Wine. Did you write that out in California? Because it features.
I did. I wrote that within about an hour of the girl I went out there with, Maggie.
Oh.
After about 2 months, she decided she didn't want any more of me and left. And I wrote that song once again within a matter of an hour or two.
So sort of autobiographical.
Oh yeah.
And well, once again, those are great recordings, a great album. And so you followed that with Genuine Cowhide in '76 and Love Rustler in '77. Both great albums also.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And around that same time that you began as a regular, making regular guest appearances on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
So how did you become a regular on that show, Delbert?
Well, I wasn't really a regular on it. I only did it 3 times, I think. But John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd came out to a show I did at the Lone Star Cafe in New York. And they had a good time. We had a good time. And John and I kind of kept in touch a little bit. And it just kind of went from a friendship thing to one day he told me, he said, I'm going to get you guys on the show. And I said, great. You know, I didn't put that much in it, but the next thing I know, we were on Saturday Night Live.
Wow.
And so, he pulled a lot of weight around there, and I guess he just said, that's what I want, and they did it.
It must have been a great experience being on that show, because even today it's still very iconic.
It's very great, very good show, and it was really wonderful then. But it generally always has been. There was a few years in there when it wasn't as good as it used to be, but I think it's back as good as ever. Sure.
And, well, it was around this time that other artists started to mine your catalog for songs to record. Emmylou in 1978 took your Two More Bottles of Wine right to #1 on the country charts.
That's right, yeah.
And you wrote and recorded the original version of B-movie Boxcar Blues, which was later a part of the Blues Brothers repertoire.
Yeah.
And so when Emmylou was going to record Two More Bottles of Wine, did she approach you, or?
No, but she didn't have to. I didn't know her then, and I'd already put it out, so all they had to do was contact the publishing company and tell them. So I heard about it after the fact.
And what about B-movie Boxcar Blues?
Well, I knew that was coming out. John told me they were doing that.
I figured he probably would, because you guys were friends and such back then. But okay, I guess you moved to the eventually moved to the Muscle Shoals sound imprint. Oh, you there, Delbert?
Yes.
Okay. You eventually moved to the Muscle Shoals sound imprint.
Right.
And in 1980, you released your label debut, Jealous Kind, which featured Giving It Up for Your Love.
Yeah.
And great song, and that went really high to number 8 on the Billboard's Hot 100.
Yep.
And would you mind telling us a little bit about that, the Muscle Shoals sound and Giving It Up for Your love?
Well, I had been wanting to record with the Muscle Shoals people after I did the Capricorn thing, the things I did on Capricorn. That, you know, they were both Southern music record companies, and I thought that I could do well there. So when I got the chance, Muscle Shoals went into a partnership with Capitol Records, and they had Muscle Shoals Capitol. And I tried to get on the record, and they agreed and wanted to do a record. So that's what we did. And when we went in to record, I told Barry Beckett, who was the producer, I said, I've got our hit right here. And it was a song written by a friend of mine, a guy named Jerry Lynn Williams. And he had a song called Giving It Up for Your Love, and I played it for Barry, and he said, well, I agree with you. And it was a big record for us.
And certainly a great song, classic recording in history, music history. But unfortunately, the Muscle Shoals sound folded not long after your follow-up in 1981, Playing from the Heart.
Yeah.
And then you took a break from recording for most of the 80s.
Yep.
And then 1989, you issued your comeback album, Live from Austin. And that earned you your first Grammy nomination for Best Contemporary Blues Album.
Right.
What did it feel to get that first Grammy nomination? How did that feel?
Well, it felt good, you know. It always feels good when somebody calls and says, hey, you've been nominated, you know, or you won, or you know, just to be nominated, you know, then you get to wait it out and see what happens, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sure.
But you didn't have to wait too long to be awarded a Grammy, because in 1991 you recorded Good Man, Good Woman with Bonnie Raitt.
That's right.
On I believe it was the follow-up to her comeback album.
It was.
Luck of the Draw.
Yeah, Luck of the Draw.
And that got nominated for the Best Rock Vocal Duo or
right.
Group, and you both won the Grammy.
Yes.
In that category. So I'm sure it felt great to win the Grammy.
Well, it was. It was great to win with Bonnie. You know, Bonnie and I have been friends for a long, long time, and I was thrilled when she called up and said, "I found us a song to do." And I went out to California. We did it, and won a Grammy for it.
And once again, that's a great song too. I'm going to be playing that in just a little bit here, so everyone can hear it.